Alright, so welcome back to this Dance Gavin Dance lyric reaction review series. It's episode 2, going over The Robot with Human Hair Part 4, which, is a strange song title, obviously. I'm sure I'll go over that in Death of the Robot, because that's also on this album. But before I started, I wanted to make it clear with a reminder about the mind-body dualism that I was talking about in the previous episode. That along with that, there's sort of like just a general duality that Dance Gavin Dance approaches their music with, which involves several things. I'm going to list them here. I got some notes increasing my production quality, whatever. Along with a new camera angle. Yes, so fancy, huh? Anyway, so along with that mind-body dualism, they also aim for a subtle yet complex mix of both maturity and immaturity, as in, like approaching it seriously, but also with a very huge hint of comedy that, like fans of Dance Gavin Dance know what I'm talking about, both in the lyrics and the way they approach their musical structure. Anyway, so that all fits into the whole concept of the yin and yang. Like you've seen the symbol, probably. If you haven't, look it up. It's a trip. Anyway, so along with that, within this whole yin yang concept, there's elements of creation and destruction, harmony and dissonance, which plays into the entire power of the metalcore genre. Along with comparable genres to that, where there's clean singing and harsh screaming vocals. That's why that genre, as far as I can tell, has taken off the way it has since it started. It's just an interesting, like I said, duality. So there's like a lot to pick from and resonate with for multiple people, so it just sort of ties together back to it. Anyway, so the duality in the lyrics of Dance Gavin Dance is reflected in the duality of sounds in their music, and others like it. So that's all why their music and others like their music, like metalcore and all that, along with other genre mixes. Linkin Park is a good example if you think about that. That's why those genres and that music is so powerful, and why Dance Gavin Dance has so many obsessed fans. Like I said, there's so much to pick from and resonate with, that there's so many layers. It's like a musical lasagna, or a cake, if you will, or an onion, as Shrek has been compared to. Anyway, so without further ado, 3 minutes of my ranting, let me pull up the lyrics here and play it, and I'll put the lyrics below me to let you experience these lyrics along with me. It's going to be a long journey. I'm not sure how long the series is going to last. It could take several years, but I'm going to try to get as many of these out as possible. Not like on a daily basis probably, but possibly weekly or twice a week type thing. We'll see how it goes. But again, without further ado, The Robot with Human Hair Part 4, from Acceptance Speech 2.0, just to be clear again. And
fucking cynical. Hang on, don't
Yeah, so where to even start with that? So obviously, again, going back to the whole nature of their duality and their creation, destruction, harmony, dissonance thing they got going on. Um, what to elaborate on something I said in the episode one is, there's clearly sort of a conversation happening between the higher thinking self and the more primitive self. The id and the ego and the superego. Like if you think about it, like the id, as far as I understand, is those primitive instincts I was talking about. The superego is again like one's identity, whereas the ego is sort of like the middleman or the balance between those two things, which means that as John Mess and Tillian work together to form the lyrics, they sort of function it as a conversation both with each other, so that like they can present this duality to their audience and allow them to take that conversation into themselves and help them work through whatever's going up in their head. So in some ways, you can think of listening to Dance Gavin Dance and their introspective um, experience is the way I would put it. It's sort of like a therapy session where and that's really like the power of introspection and meditation when you think about it. Nobody listening to this or watching this knows much about meditation. It's been proven neurochemically, like in the electrical wiring of the brain, to have a profound effect on one's psyche, thought processes, etc. Uh, you know, uh, Carl Jung talked about this and sort of popularized the concept of talk therapy, which, when you bring it back to this, them talking to you and allowing you to learn how to talk to yourself, both by taking yourself seriously and not seriously at the same time. Not too seriously, but not seriously that you stop caring. And so, to put a sort of pin on this concept, so I can elaborate further on these things later as we're exploring these lyrics. I guess I'm gonna have to cut here. Yeah. So what I was trying to say was, as far as I can tell, these guys' purpose with this band is not to become rock stars or whatever. It's basically them just following along with their part in the universe as musicians and artists, as spreading their passion and understanding of love and peace to their audience. Anyone caring to sacrifice their time to listen, and trying to do what they can to improve the lives of anyone who hears their music and or cares enough to dive this deeply into it. You see what I'm saying? I mean, if you don't, then you don't. But and their sound doesn't resonate with everybody. It's too chaotic to be able to make everyone happy like everything else. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's my point about that. As far as I understand, if you can just watch interviews of them, they seem like really cool, genuine, down to earth people that anyone could be friends with. But obviously, people can only have so many friends in their lives. So, otherwise we'd be you know able to be immortal and yada yada, all that. Anyway, so those are the thoughts of just another guy. And again, I'm signing off with episode 2 with an attempt at one take again. I had to cut because I forgot the point I was trying to make, but food for thought for episode 3 on how to structure it. Yeah, if you like it, again, you know what to do.